In our day and age, there seems to be an increasing rage. There seems to be so much anger and contention. The Book of Mormon speaks about the last days. It teaches us that the prophet Nephi was pointing our minds and hearts to the time in the latter days when the adversary would rage in the hearts of the children of men. And specifically, he would stir them up to anger against that which was good. I find that a very interesting description. To stir something suggests an inciting to revolt. It suggests that there's an insidious effort to create conflict, to create tension, to create hostility, to arouse feelings of animosity and enmity and conflict and dissension but between people, and specifically in the context of rage and unbridled anger and hatred towards that which is good, towards that which is holy, towards that which is sacred. In particular, we've seen in our day and age, and certainly over the last number of years, an increasing amount of negativity and hostility, interpersonal conflict, and of course not just interpersonal, but in terms of war, and in terms of many other issues, and on the internet and in other media forums, where we've seen much hostility and contention and division and disunity and bickering. We see people losing their tempers very easily, seemingly, and getting upset about things that may have been relatively minor in the past, things that people wouldn't have been so angry about or so upset. And this is a day in which prophecy is being fulfilled. This is a day in which the adversary seeks to rule and reign over us. He seeks to incite us to be hostile towards that which is good. And anything that's beautiful, of good report, praiseworthy, those things which are holy in the eyes of God, the adversary seeks to incite rebellion against. And how sad it is to see the level of hostility in our world. We know that this was prophesied, and we know that there is a remedy to these things, that we can be slow to anger, we can be slow to conflict, slow to take offense, slow to give offense. We can avoid road rage, we can avoid angry feelings and harsh words and shouting accusations. We can still stand up for that which is good and that which is right, with goodness, with love, with hope, with virtue, with peace. We can speak the truth in love, and that the Lord isn't telling us that there isn't any such thing as righteous indignation. Of course there's righteous indignation, such as when the Saviour cleansed the temple. But it wasn't this kind of hatred and rage and anger that the adversary seeks to cultivate in our souls. He seeks us to be loose cannons, to fly off the handle, to have a short fuse, to be upset interpersonally, and in our families, and in our nations, and in our workplaces, and on the road, and in all sorts of situations. He seeks us to be angry, especially with truth, the truths of heaven, revelations of heaven, the Book of Mormon, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the work of the temple, the work of missionaries. And I've noticed that happening as well. Hostility against the Lord and his work and his redemptive work and his missionary work and his work of standing up for the family in time and in eternity. A hostility against revealed religion. And so these are the days of prophecy and power. These are days for our contemplation of that which is good, for us to be peaceful, to stand strong for that which is right and righteousness, to sustain and defend the faith, but to be slow to anger, to be temperate and moderate, but to stand for truth and righteousness and virtue. We don't have to get angry and upset and fly off the handle at every provocation. And the devil loves to provoke. He's an accuser, and especially of those who are trying to keep his commandments. He accuses them and tries to attack them and denigrate them and say that they are evil. And so we shouldn't be surprised that these things are happening, but how important it is for us to control our emotions, to constrain our appetites, and to direct our desires so that we are peacemakers and lovers of peace, that we stand for truth and righteousness in holy ways, and we declare the truth, but in a peaceful way. And I'm so grateful that we can be slow to anger. We don't have to be rash or quick to get angry or upset. We can be calm. We can control what we say and how we say it. How grateful I am that the gospel teaches us to control our feelings in righteous ways. And as we do this, we will benefit and bless others.